Chobo Dapamkara say it like this: until you attain perfect Buddhahood, you will still have past actions and tendencies to remove, and will still need to attain more and more spiritual qualities. That is the truth. Until we obtain the perfect Buddhahood. And even the Shavaka Buddha, Pachika Buddhas, also not perfect Buddha, still they need to practice and purified and need to accumulation merits. And you still have a past action that is like kind of the habitual tendencies, and also it's like tendencies which is the obscuration, and the past actions, they kind of the tendencies. The tendencies is become the obscuration of the cognitive or defilement, and this one is like a need to remove one by one, step by step, and will still need to attain more and more spiritual qualities. For example, when you be in the path of the accumulation merit, of course you are remove some tendencies, obscurations, past actions, negative actions, and also you have some realizations, spiritual inequality realization. But compare the path of the junctions, it's like cannot be satisfied when you achieve the path of the accumulation merits. You need to achieve the qualities of junctions. When you be in the path of junctions, maybe you have the like warmth, peak, forbearance, supreme like kind of dharma. But that is also is like you need to still past action tendencies we need to remove, and this past action of tendencies, of course, we call the cognitive or the defilement obscurations. Even we are like kind of the roughly to removing, not subtly. And these two paths, and we be in the path of the seeings. You first achieve this Bodhisattva's bhumi, and of course you are purified very deeply the two obscurations and the obscurations, and also you receive the qualities of the first bhumi. But then second, third bhumi, until we reach the 10th levels spiritual qualities. There is like levels, one by one we need to achieve, each moment achieve. We need to remove past action tendencies like this. When we be in the path of the normal learning, last level and perfect Buddhahood, then of course there is no need. Therefore, so do not fall into indolent and sporadic practice. Indolent, it is like very relaxedly, very much comfortably. And also it's like a sporadic practice, means it's like sometimes you practice, sometimes you not practice. And this sort of the like Dharma practitioners, how you become the like kind of the enlightenment. Practice Dharma with like kind of diligent from the depth of your heart, without ever feeling that you have done enough. It's true. Until you be perfect enlightenment. Like when we studies, you go to the university. Of course, you need to do there the step-by-step sequential, the schedule of your study things. You need diligently go one by one. One is like kind of finish it. You perfectly graduate. And then is you don't need to more to study. You know where everything is like kind of in heart. Like this, even you have become the perfect Buddhahood and never be kind of yourself like done enough or satisfied. Sometimes you indolent practice Dharma, or sometimes you like kind of the sporadic practice Dharma that make you feeling have the done enough. That is maybe is cheating our own self, not very good. And like this, and generally speaking, whether you attain Buddhahood or not, depend solely on your diligence. So make every effort to practice the three kinds of the diligence. And you be enlightenment or not enlightenment entirely depends on the diligent. Of course, if we lack of the diligent, it's very difficult to be enlightenment. Not enlightenment, any kind of the worldly activity or the spiritual activities, both. If we are like kind of go under the indolent like laziness, or it is like a kind of the sporadic like doing things, that is never succeeded. And therefore to pick up these three kind of the diligence, deep or the depth you're from the heart, to want like kind of the wish to practice Dharma quickly, urgent, that is very important. And also there is saying like someone with exceptional intelligence but only a little diligence will only be in inferior practitioners. Of course, that is like idioms. Someone is very intelligent, whatever you study and reflect on, easily to understand. Very much intelligent, but you are very lazy. And then the laziness is all the times, according to the laziness, your intelligent, exceptional intelligent, is a kind of the caught by the lazy of the frost. Or like kind of the laziness destroyed, and then it's like all the result consequence is inferior kind of occurring. And Dharma point is like this: someone is very intelligent but not diligent, then inferior practitioners. And but someone's with a little intelligent, quite not very much intelligent, and everything's to study very complicated, very much difficult, but extraordinarily diligent, will become the superior practitioners. Absolutely. Someone is like never be satisfied, self-feelings. All the times to be diligent, to worldly or the spiritually or the dharmically. And these kind of persons, of course, not that intelligent, not exceptional intelligent, but they have extraordinary diligence. They finally, the consequence or the result is the superiors, all the times top of winner. Therefore, here is a Dharma perspective, superior practitioners. They all the times be enlightenment. And with no diligence, whatever all other good qualities would be useless. Intelligent sometimes like kind of not without diligent, the intelligent is become the useless. Never kind of the successful. Therefore, if you have diligent, whatever you do, finally you become the winner. You have such a kind of the good things. And therefore, like kind of the here's idiom, omniscient Jigme Limba said, no intelligence, no power, no wealth or strength can help. someone without diligence. He is like a boatman who is boat, has everything but oars. And anything else cannot to help without diligence, cannot help intelligence, cannot help power, cannot help wealth, strength, can't help. Only help like kind of the diligent. Without diligent, they cannot to help. With diligent, then absolutely like kind of intelligent, power, wealth, strength, they can to help. They really become the successful. Like this, maybe it's like kind of boat may have fantastic boat, but no oars. No oars, boat cannot move, boat is become the useless. Therefore, we go to the enlightenment, cross the ocean of the samsara, and we need the boat, that is the Dharma. But when we enter into the craft of boat of the Dharma, we need oars, the machine, in order to move this boat. That is the diligent. And very important to have diligent. Always moderate your eating. Arrive at a balanced amount of the sleep. Make your effort, study and concentrate, meditation. Like kind of always moderate the eating things. Just not too much, not too less. And this is the kind of the correct middle way is the moderate. And arrive at the balanced amount of the sleep. Also is like kind of the sleep is like just enough. Maybe too much sleep, not very good. Can cure the dullness and ignored and everything's lost. Therefore, just enough, you need to middle way, balance it. Make your effort, study and the concentrated meditation. It is the very important. Make your mind like a good boasting, neither too loose nor too tight. And you yourself mind like kind of the boasting means it's like really direct, not kind of to tidy up, not to kind of the loose, middle way. And a kind of the your diligent, it is like a river, or the like kind of the boasting, bow, like the arrow put inside. Not tidy up, not kind of the loss. Then it's like kind of that is best. Then it's really is become the successful. It will get you no way to practice sporadically, only when you have times. That's right. Sporadically is like kind of the rarely, sometimes. When you have times, then you practice Dharma. Another times is not. Then this kind of it's where we cannot reach any kind of. We cannot reach in the path of accumulation, any path and the bhumis. And therefore, and your diligent, it is like kind of the boasting, neither too loose or too tight, like kind of the put diligent to practice Dharma. Not kind of practice sporadically. That is the fourth transcendent of the diligent. Now next one is the 2.5 transcendent concentration. It is the quite very, very important, fantastic. Then it's like you first study Dharma, listen Dharma, reflect on the Dharma. You understand the crucial point of Dharma of the Bodhicitta, compassion. Everything you studied, and now it's like concentrate, focus on it. It can transcendent, really it's like kind of from the confusions to the enlightened concept or enlightened the mind. And we can to say here is like kind of preparatory for the concentrations. It is necessary. It is impossible to develop concentration without first renouncing excitement and distracted preoccupations and going to stay in a solitude place. And solitude and or circulation and like kind of the to maintain in the like kind of the hermitage or the solitary place. Go to there to practice your concentration, meditate, and a correct place. In order to develop your concentration without first renouncing it, to not to give up kind of the excitement, and sometimes here excitement or sometimes is saying the crowded, like the crowded, like maybe more is like commercials, like kind of this kind of areas, connecting and calling, watching, like this kind of, and also distracted like kind of the, and renouncing the excitement, and also that means it's like a crowd and bustles it, and distracted minds or distracted preoccupations. And when we be in the place of the crowd and bustle areas, then it's distracted mind. There are a lot of distracting preoccupations, body, speech, minds. You cannot to develop the concentrations and going to stay in a solitude, like kind of the hermitage, remote areas, place is quite very important. So it starts with, it is the important to give up distractions. And this one is like a destruction, okay, and included crowd and bustle, distracting preoccupations. This kind of, they're giving up the distractions, distracted by the crowd and the bustle, these things. For instance, whatever is brought together will fill apart. Like a kind of the crowd bustles can occur. This sort of distracting the preoccupations, our mind, body, speech, comes from the together. Together is compounded things. The nature of the together or the compounded, it is fill apart. For instance, parents, brothers and sisters, spouse, that means is like kind of all the, like your partner, and the families, member of the families, friend and relatives, even the flesh and bones of the body that we received at birth are all distinct to separate. Generally, our mind, body, speech, very much distracting preoccupations by those compounded things. Parents also compounded. It's not kind of a unique single one atom and not permanent. Parents finally is kind of the apart and separate. Brother and sisters, of course, exactly, sometimes together, but also they are the separate. Spouses is also is like families, or your kind of the partners, so on. Maybe this is not common word. Spouse is like kind of the husband or wife, or consider in the relationship something, families. And friend and relatives, they are the compounded. Of course, finally, we are the separate. Of course, like we don't want to separate. We have like kind of coding with them. All the times we are crowd and be in the bustle and distracted, in the preoccupations, or distracted or preoccupied our mind, body, speech, mind. It's impossible to practice Dharma. Of course, even the not this compounded, what we received at the birth, our flesh, bones, blood, skins, or whatever our organs, also distinct. Finally, everything is separate. These kind of compounded things, according that why we need to be kind of the crowd and the bustle. And we need to practice Dharma if you want to be long time with them. If you want to be them forever, practice Dharma to be enlightenment, then you can to help to them, you can to be forever to them. And therefore, understand the futility of becoming attached to ephemeral loved ones and friends, and always remain in solitude. Here is the understand perfectly, like kind of futility of the becoming attached to ephemeral loved, pointless, useless. Futility means, according to the futilities, friends, families, all the like kind of the spouse, spouse. There are the futilities. And according to that, we have the such attachment, and also it's like kind of lot of love. But they are actually ephemeral love. Ephemeral love means it's like momentary and like kind of the changeable love. Ones and friends, it's like this. Even the like kind of the your loved means your parents, brothers, sisters, they are the not permanent. They are like kind of ephemeral families. One moment can disappear, or separate, or died, or lost. And many there are completely impermanent. Therefore, futilities of the coming tide, ephemeral loved ones, and to keep in your mind always to remain in the solitude place with them, and to all the times doing in the worldly things. That is never you cannot develop your concentration meditate. Rinpoche is the best one student of the Jetsen Malaripas. He says like this: Buddhahood is within ourselves alone. Although spiritual companion support our practice, having more than the 3 or 4 together bring up hatred and attachment. So I for one shall I stay alone. Rinpoche say, Buddhahood is the within yourself, ourself alone. That means you meditate the essence of your own mind. It is you need to be alone to be enlightenment. Of course, sometimes you make the accomplishment, the enlightenment. Maybe some spiritual friends support our practice, but more than the 3, 4 together, then there is like kind of the hatred, attachment. That is absolutely is truth. When you go to in the like kind of the retreat place, if you have the 3, they all the times jealous each other. All the time is hate, attachment. And 3 is like kind of the really is like the creation of the hatred, creation of the attachments. Maybe true or alone. So therefore Rinpoche said, reason that if I'm alone, I'm a lonely state in the remote place in order to develop concentration, meditate. Wanting things is what causes all of our troubles. Like a kind of wanted, this and that. Why we are preoccupied our minds. Why we are kind of the have situation of the crowd and the bustles. Because we wanted something. And wish has want or thinking is wanted, it's cause all our problems can occur that. I want this, okay, I want electronic gadgets. I want like kind of any, like, this and that. Of course, we don't need to say partner, position, property, and well-being, everything I want it. If you want, then you need to put effort. Then it's a lot of troubles can occur in your life. Therefore, things it want, it's cause all of your troubles. We are never satisfied with that we have. And whether we get the more our average grows. Absolutely, it is truth. Wanted. This is like kind of the greeting, demand, want, desire. We are never be satisfied. Whatever we have. Never, ever. Never, ever. We can look in the worldly 100%. Also ourselves. If you have 1, you need 2. If you have 2, you need 4. If you have 10, you need 20. If you have 100, you need 200. You have 1,000, you need 2,000. You have 1 million, you need 2 million. You need to 1 trillion, you need 2 trillions. As much as you have, that much you need. Never be satisfied. And where till we get the more and more and more and more avarice. Avarice, stinginess. There's many kind of this kind of avarice. It's a very nice word. Avarice means it's like kind of you so much. Avarice. Like kind of stinginess, holding, gross and gross. Even you become the owner of this world, you still like kind of your avarices grow up. Finally, you developed such kind of achieve the level of the hungry ghost realms. And through the development of the avarice grows, or like this. Therefore, if you are Dharma practitioners, whatever we have, be satisfied, more put effort to practice Dharma. Very important. There is the idioms like kind of, as the saying goes, being rich means being miserly. It's same avarice. And this is also miserly or the miserly, I think. Miserly, yes, miserly. Miserly, avarice, miserly. In Tibet is sirna. If you want to know about the sirna. Miserly, avarice, and also stinginess. Yes, it's another. Avarice, miserly, stinginess, sense of the loss, like this. Being rich means being miserly. Or again, like the rich, and more you get, that more you need it. And to lose your enemies, lose your money. If you haven't got nothing, you lose your enemies. Nobody's attacked to you. Nobody's robber you. Nobody's burgling to you. You are completely free from. For example, those homeless, they haven't got any enemies. What they have, maybe it's like kind of nothing to protecting things. And also like you lose money set. If you haven't got any kind of the livestock, then it's like there's no enemy, no like kind of attachment, hatred. Everything's become easy. Some rich people not study Dharma, but they hated things. Many rich, some in Japan or some areas, they want to become homeless. They said it's more happy. You are more and more rich, you need to more and more curry, more and more like maliciously, and you need to care, worry, and a lot of currying. You are nothing homeless, nothing worried. Only focus on practice Dharma, like this. And that means it's like a more around, like kind of the resources, money and property you own, the more danger you face from enemies, like robbers, burglars, thief, and also many there's someone's coming says, can you borrow, can you rent, can you help? Lot of kind of complications can occur. Nothing there is, only focus on the Dharma. You become the rich of the Dharma, no enemy, no kind of the hustle bustle, you are not crowd. But you are the most rich person. Once is like India guy asked to one Tibet person, in Tibet, do you have some rich? Then one person said, oh yes, in the most richest in this world we have. I'm really interested. I want to know who is. Maybe I will to visit. Yes, his name is Jetson Malaripa. And you can go see. And in Tibet, there's the most powerful, like the kind of conquering. and like victorious. Ah yes, who is it? I'm Malaripas. And that means it's like kind of, he is of course inner realizations came, occurred in their mind, most reached. Everything is what you need is theirs. But you no need to have any enemies, robber, burgle things. And of course you are victorious, like kind of the winners, like kind of the, you are the conqueror, because you like destroyed your 84,000 disturbing emotion armies. You are most like kind of the brave heart, victorious, like this. And you can to spend your entire life acquiring, practice, and increasing your wealth. This can only lead to suffering and negative actions. And here is like kind of acquiring like kind of the things you need to accumulate. When you want, you need to acquiring. Go and to search. For example, if I need to one electronic gadget like this, I want this, then I have such many acquirings. I need to earn money, then I go to which shop. I need a lot of. And then I got it, this one, I need to protect things. And only it's like protect is not enough. I need to increase it. Maybe this one, how? This one I cannot increase, but need to increase. Kind of investigate. Like kind of the more develop your wealth. This can only lead you suffering and negative action a lot. And therefore, the Sublime Nangarjuna said like this: amazing wealth, guiding it and making it grow will wear you out. Understand that riches bring unending ruin and destructions. And then you're the wealth, amassing wealth like kind of the rich. And this one you need to like first how much you put acquirings, then secondarily you need to a guiding. Then you make it is a grow up to maybe it's like kind of the how do you say, it's like kind of the money to more making multiply. Investigate, or I don't know, investment for the things to more. Then it's like kind of the understand that bring a lot of unending ruin and destructions. And even if one man were to own all the wealth and possession in the whole world, it would not change the fact that he would still only need enough food and clothing for one person. Actually, even you be in the owner of this whole world, you have all wealth and positions, everything is one person is like you belongings. But actually, it is what you're going to do. One person's clothes, food, shelters. More than that, what you're going to do. And therefore, and like kind of whatever you have, be satisfied. But if you are, maybe it's also owner of this world, however rich they may be, people can still hardly bear to eat or mouthful of the food themselves. Even they take a little bit good food, expensive. Oh, maybe I cannot. We have there such a kind of maliciously adverse stinginess, difficult to eat mouthful of the food themselves, and use enough clothing to cover their own backs. They buy most cheapest. They stingy. They very much worried. But maybe they are owner of this world. But still caught in the maliciously and adversity and stinginess, even they cannot eat, cannot like kind of to wearing cloth, all the time is like kind of the lamentation sound of the maliciousness. Heedless of the wrongdoing or the suffering, ignoring all the circumstances. Absolutely heedless of the wrongdoing. When you are requiring your things, you're doing very much wrongdoing. Maybe you need to like kind of thief, rob, cheating, conning to others. This kind of acquirings in order to collect things. You ignore all the circumstances. Everything is forgotten. Maybe kind of the risky there prevent life and throw future life to the winds. And of course, some rich never be embarrassed. Never. That is the truth. As much as they try, like kind of obviously malicious them. But in the behind, backside, they're talking it's a lot. This person is very much maliciously. It's even the person's hurt, they never be kind of the shame or embarrassed. That means it's life to the wind sending. And of course they are like kind of holding, they can't do any positive way. Keep there and future life also nothing benefit. Therefore this life and next life is kind of the sending to the kind of the wind. For the most truthfulness, material positions, and like kind of the truthfulness, materials positions. Truthfulness, material position is like kind of water bubble. Actually, nothing kind of the benefit. Trifling material positions. In Tibet, like a kind of nokchong yawa, yang johnsos. And for example, if you have the material of this world, you keep all of them. Even you cannot use yourself, you cannot give to others. You keep and keep, protect to them, like kind of the develop to them. Certainly you died. Those material is become absolutely useless. Then it's the truthfully material positions. They disregard any kind of the shame and honesty. Kind of the never regarded any kind of the worldly point of view. Maybe if I'm do like this, I'm ashamed. I'm not really honesty. But never they don't care. They're like kind of the more grow up inside maliciously or stingy, and any kind of they need to do, the sense of the shame and honesty, completely forgot it. All prudence and wisest for thoughts, and even the like kind of the small things. Your prudence and wise forethought means you never kind of thinking about the futures. Today you do the some shame, very embarrassed things. But today is you done, maybe not disappeared. Forever in the futures, you have this kind of the gossips. Therefore, you don't think about wisest forethought futures. Most rich, shameless, embarrassless, like this. And self is difficult to eat, wearing clothes. All the times, I haven't got much. Even you are owner of this world. But this kind of. And consideration of the Dharma or of their samayas. And also it's like a consideration kind of the distance Dharma, far and far from Dharma. Any kind of they need to broken the samayas, vows. They don't care if they can get something, what they want or things. And spending all their times running after the food, profit, and the social standing, like roving spirit, hunting for turmas. They waste their whole life without ever experience even a single day of the freedom, well-being, or the happiness. Like this kind of sometimes happened. Maybe we are not, maybe who knows. They spend all their life, their times, running after the food, clothes, and their own profit. Like a kind of the social standings. How I can get food, how I can to get clothes, how I can get more rich and rich. Like a kind of the ruins running. Spirit, hungry ghosts hunting for the tormas. And there's making puja. Maybe I will receive the tormas. Like all the times running round. They never rest. They waste entirely whole life without ever experience of the single freedom to rest. And also there's nothing kind of well-being, happy or kind of the bliss, happiness. All their entire life runs. There's one American guy, he's kind of runs. One day he's feeling he's want to run, Tom Morgan said, run. And then he run, and then it's like 1 month, 2 months. Of course, then television, everything. Why you are running? I don't know. Where are you running? I don't know. How long you will run? I don't know. Run. 30 years run. Bears coming like this. There's of course no destinations. Endless. Path is never ever there's end. And then it's like this during the run. Nothing single rest freedoms, only run. Not really well-being because it's hard and tired and no happiness, run. Then one day he said, oh, now I need to stop, go home. That means run. One day you stop or the death posit stop. That time you say, I go to home, means this you going to die. Like this. Finally, having the piled up all that wealth, they may will pay for it with their life and get stabbed and shot just for their money's sake. And in order to the collecting, requiring for the wealth, and they try to pile up that wealth, then they are doing many different ways, shameless way, embarrassed way, very strangeness way, maliciously way. Sometimes they kill, sometimes they stolen, sometimes sections. Whenever there's kind of need to do the positive, negative things, even they change their lives. Then finally, then they die on the like kind of the stab, or just maybe it's like different weapons. The life is get stabbed or the shot like guns, knives, because so run finally there's so many different enemies that just their money they're going to die. Then everything they have amassed over a whole lifetimes gets spent by their enemies and other people. It's all squandered. Squander something, especially money or time, in a risky and the foolish manner. Said squander. It is all squander. It's chuzu kona jabas in Tibet. Chuzu, squander. It should become the useless, because it's like you whole entirely to be the crowd, bustle, require for your wealth. You must kind of collected things. Finally, you died or you killed, you murdered someone. Then your things collected like kind of the belong the other's wealth. Absolutely like this. Maybe it's one is like kind of the lucky, maybe your family, but sometimes there's no families. And even the things, the families also like making a lot of problems, troubles. Therefore, squandered wealth. And according that, but the pile of the evil deeds as the higher as the mountain mirror, that they build it up to get rich, remain exclusively theirs, and will cause them to wander in the unbearable depth of the lower animals, never to be the free. And in order to collect to the wealth positions, spend whole our life acquiring, protector to develop as our belongings. And in order to that, we are involved such evil deeds, piled up like size of the mountain mirror, build-ups. This is kind of the remain, of course, and never kind of the disappeared. And will it make the cause to them or to us wander in the unbearable depth of the lower animals, never to be the free. Therefore, to analyze these things, we need to prepare the go to in the solitude place. Why I'm need in the be the crowd and the bustles, distracted minds, commercial areas, not like this. So while you still have the chance, use the few position you may have in this life to provide for the future lives. be content with a meager amount of the food and just enough clothing to keep out the wind. That is the very crucial point, important. And whatever you have, a little bit kind of the wealth, positions, you still have that. You have great chance. Maybe you can do offer, you can do make generosity. You have freedom, what you want, your positions. You may have in this life. Maybe if you do something, benefit for others, maybe it's like offering, generosity, help. Maybe it's like kind of the more benefit for in this life. And also you provide for the future lifetimes. Then your wealth, your positions is become meaningful. Be content with the meager amount of the food. Whatever you have, kind of be satisfied and really kind of to tidy up, to help in this life, to provide some good things for future life. Like a kind of meager amount. Meager amount is like kind of the defeat or eliminate or control for the food, clothes, and like kind of the well-being. In Tibet, like kind of say, Chong Togu Tansen. Chong, this is like kind of the sense loss, a meager amount. And not much concerning the food, clothes, whatever you have, food, clothes, just enough. Keep out the wind, say. That means it's like not concerning the food, clothes, like kind of the good, like kind of the fertility or the famous or fame. And therefore, this whole ambitious are the limited to this present life are known in the text as child friends. If someone's whole ambitious are limited to this present our life, like kind of the involved food, clothes, well-being, fames, so on. And this kind of your involvement in the text said, like childish friend, they are not at all grateful for any help you may extend it to them, and in return may will do you harm. Maybe you are the crowd, bustle, with the compounded, your family, friend, spouse, and all like to doing something benefit for them, or like kind of you according that you cannot practice dharma. But there are as much as you can help, the return is unready gratitude. As much as you help to them, extended help to them, maybe return, may they can kill you, they murdered you, they never ever be happy. Therefore, no matter what you do for them, it is never right. They are very hate to please, hard to please. Millions, trillions you give your families, they never please it. They more and more harm to you. They never like kind of appreciate. And like this, if you have more than they do, they are jealous to you. If you have lesser, they look down onto you. Absolutely, that is the cherished friend. The more time you spend with them, the more your negative emotions multiply and your positive actions dwindles. Dwindle is like kind of the diminish, fade away. Renounce such friend and keep the will away from them. Then it's like kind of focus on the Dharma and solitude place, cultivate concentration meditations. Occupations such as commerce, that's right, commerce. It's like kind of the crowd, bustle areas you call the commerce. Agricultural industry. Academy involves you in numerous activities and provide endless source of distractions. These two wheels pursuits keep you concentratedly busy for the inconsequential goals. Actually, result is make more distance from Dharma, more farther enlightenment. And like this is like kind of how it is destructed, negative. That kind of the source of destructions we need to give up. Kind of the crowd or the hustle and bustle area is the commerce, agriculture, industry, academic, like kind of different schools involves this kind of activities provide endless source of the distractions. However much effort you make, none of it has any meaning. There's not very much meaning. You put more effort, you're more creating negative things, negative deeds, meaningless, and more endless. There is no end to the process of overcoming trouble and profiting friends. Therefore, to cut this kind of commerce areas or the hustle and bustle areas, very important to run into in the solitude place. Also, we need to rest, pause 15 minutes.